It's headbutt time!
Hello everybody, my name is Dr. Danthrax99, and fuck the Dead Ringer. Alright, there's more to it than that. I know most spy main YouTubers hold off on their obligatory Dead Ringer videos until they absolutely have to make them, but fuck it, let's just dive right in. For those of you who are somehow unaware of what the Dead Ringer is, it is one of the most controversial weapons in the whole game, on par with the pre-Jungle Inferno Reserve Shooter, the Flog, etc. I honestly don't know of anybody offhand that actually likes the Dead Ringer. I know I sure don't like it. Pretty much every time I use it, I feel like a scumbag, and I only really use it against a team that has a Dead Ringer spy. But at that point, turnabout is fair play, and even then, I suck ass with the Dead Ringer, so it's a very little benefit to me anyway. Not hard to see why people hate the Dead Ringer. It lets the spy feign his own death upon activation, dropping his fake spy body, or the body of the teammate he was disguised as, on the spot, and puts his death into the enemy kill feed, in addition to giving him a ludicrously fast speed boost and a huge damage resistance for the first 3 seconds of the cloak duration. Although rare, I've actually heard of people complaining about the fact that the Dead Ringer exists, period, believing that the spy shouldn't be able to feign his death at all. It's a good thing they didn't play TF Classic then, because not only could the spy feign his own death, but he even had a tranquilizer gun. Imagine the salt TF2 spies could farm if they could stun opponents and fake their own death. Oh boy, you're all getting off lucky. But this video isn't about TF Classic, it's about the Dead Ringer in TF2, and what can be done to make it both usable for spy players and not blood boiling to play against. I get it. You kill a spy, taunt, only for him to dead ring directly behind you and backstab you mid-schadenfreude. Or you breathe on him with one pistol shot and he dies and gets away. I totally understand. On the other hand, there are legitimate situations in which a Dead Ringer can come in handy. The enemy just keeps finding you under normal cloak, they spy check everything that moves, or you can't stay alive because for whatever reason the enemy team is running 5 pyros. It makes sense in that situation to run a ringer. And I personally don't take issue with the fact that the spy can feign his own death in and of itself. That's not the problem I have with the Dead Ringer. There are 2 specific things about the Dead Ringer that I take issue with. There was 3 before the Pyro update, but Valve took care of the spammability for the most part. First and foremost, in my opinion, is the speed boost upon feigned death. For the first 3 seconds of Dead Ringer Cloak, the spy can move as fast as a scout, and does not shimmer when bumped. Not shimmering is not a problem, but the speed boost is what I have a major bone to pick with here. The speed boost gives the spy way too much survivability, as he can just gotta go fast if you ain't first you're last his way out of almost any situation just by right-clicking. This is the thing I think most people take issue with when it comes to the Dead Ringer, is that it gives the spy too much survivability. Once upon a time, the Dead Ringer was exactly like the Invis Watch in the respect that you could pick up ammo boxes or metal to increase the duration of your current invisibility and find a safe place to decloak. Well, Valve changed this, thankfully, and instead let a Dead Ringer spy just run till daddy takes his T-bird away out of any situation. It definitely shouldn't be able to pick up ammo while cloaked, but the speed boost isn't a good alternative. A spy who gets caught because he was doing some dumb shit should have to face the consequences of his actions, and the speed boost basically nullifies that. Words cannot express how much I hate the Dead Ringer speed boost. It's the biggest part of what's wrong with the watch in my opinion. Getting rid of it would solve about 90% of problems the Dead Ringer has. Anyway, enough bitching about the speed boost because I know I'll do it all night if I keep it up. Let's move on. Second, and less importantly, I think the Dead Ringer's damage resistance bonus is too high. It's not that I think it shouldn't exist at all, but it should be a bit less than it is. Upon being triggered, the spy is given a 75% resistance to whatever damage caused his Dead Ringer to activate. Furthermore, he has a 65% resistance to all other sources of damage for the first 3 seconds of the cloak, along with the goddamn speed boost. The ability to resist more damage upon feigned death isn't a bad idea. Definitely helps out with the staying dead after triggering the ringer, but 75%? That's a little too much, Valve. If the Dead Ringer didn't have this generous of a damage resistance bonus, and the speed boost didn't exist, I swear to God, if I say speed boost one more time, I'm gonna fucking shoot myself. If these 2 things were not a thing, I think a lot less people would have grave problems with the Dead Ringer. I know it'll always be hardliners like my friend Great Googly Moogly who thinks it shouldn't exist at all, But as I mentioned before, I don't have an issue with the spy being able to feign his death in and of itself, and I would like to think that most people don't. I mean, I could be wrong, but you never know. Alright, now that I've done all this complaining, it is now time for me to fix the dead ringer. How would I do that, you might ask? Well, first let me pull up a dead ringer graphic here real quick. Bam! Alright, now here's what I would do. Drum roll, please. Number 1, I would get rid of the speed boost entirely. Oh, god damn it, I said speed boost again. This is definitely the worst thing about the dead ringer, as I said before. It's what makes getting away with being a moron so damn easy for noob spies. They can just right-click and get out of any situation they don't want to be in for free. Removing said speed boost would make the ringer a lot harder to use and punish bad spies more often for just thinking they can right-click without being caught with no consequences. It needs to go. That's the bottom line. Second, I would reduce the damage reduction bonus on the dead ringer. I wouldn't do away with it completely, but I would make it less than it is. Instead of a 75% resistance to the damage that caused your ringer, we can drop that to about 50. And then we can make it 45 to all other forms of damage. That seems fair to me. I don't know, we'd have to play test around with it for a bit, but on paper that sounds good. Furthermore, I would return the ability to recharge the dead ringer from ammo packs, but here's the catch. One of the things that made the ringer so agitating to fight in the first place was the spammability of it, which the Pyro update has thankfully fixed. So, bearing this in mind, I would let it charge up off of ammo packs, but instead of a negative 35% less meter from the ammo packs like before, I would make it so you could only get 35% meter from a full ammo box at a time. This way you can charge it up from some ammo, sure, but it's not insta-ready off a destroyed sentry's rubble or nearly ready from a full pack like it was before. I feel like if these changes are made to the dead ringer, it will not only increase its viability to spies from its current state, but it will also make it a lot less irritating to fight against and a lot more punishing of bad spies who use it as a crutch. Anyway folks, that's really all I have about the dead ringer at this time. If you like my changes or if you have different ones you would make, please let me know in the comments. I promise the next video I put out will be how to be cancer for the demo man, aka how to be a sticky spammer. I know I've been flooding you with commentaries lately. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you when I see you.